US F-35 challenging best air defense systems in the world. F-35 testing against the best current and future air defenses. There is still much more work to be done and fast developing F-35 for future threats. The U.S. Air Force F-35 is using open air ranges and computer simulation to practice combat missions against the best air defense technologies, as a way to prepare to enemy threats anticipated in the mid-2020s and beyond. The testing is aimed at addressing the most current air defense system threats such as Russian-made systems and also focused on potential next-generation or yet-to-exist threats, Air Force officials said. Air Force officials have explained that, looking back to 2001 when the F-35 threat started, the threats were mostly European-centric, Russian-made SA-10s or SA-20s. Now the future threats are looking at both Russian and Asian-made threats. Air Force senior leaders have explained that Russian and Chinese surface-to-air missile systems can change frequencies and are very agile in how they operate. Surface threats from air defenses is a tough problem because emerging threats right now can see aircraft hundreds of miles away. Russian media reports have recently claimed that stealth technology is useless against their air defenses. Russian-built S-300 and S-400 air defenses are believed to be among the best in the world. In addition, reported that Russia is now working on an S-500 system able to destroy even stealthy targets at distances up to 125 miles. While the U.S. Air Force aims to prepare for the unlikely contingency of a potential engagement with near-peer rivals such as Russia or China, Air Force planners recognize. The U.S. Air Force plans to bring a representation of next-generation threats and weapons. In a simulated environment, F-22s from Langley AFB in Virginia could train for combat scenarios with an F-35 at Nellis, Nevada. The JSF's active electronically scanned arrays, or ACEs, are technology an F-35 pilot could use to try to identify and evade enemy air defenses. ACE on the aircraft is able to provide a synthetic aperture rendering of air and ground pictures. The ACE also brings the F-35 electronic warfare capabilities. The AIM-9X is an U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy heat-seeking infrared missile. In fact, the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter fired an AIM-9X Sidewinder infrared-guided air-to-air missile for the first time recently over a Pacific Sea test range, Pentagon officials said. The F-35 took off from Edwards Air Force Base, California, and launched the missile at 6,000 feet, an Air Force statement said. Designed as part of the developmental trajectory for the emerging F-35, the test firing facility's further development of an ability to fire the weapon off boresight, described as an ability to target and destroy air-to-air targets that are not in front of the aircraft with a direct or immediate line of sight, Pentagon officials explained. Overall, the Air Force plans to buy 1,763 F-35A multi-role fighters, a number which will ultimately comprise a very large percentage of the service's fleet of roughly 2,000 fighter jets. So far, at least 83 F-35s are operational for the Air Force. F-35 testing against the best current and future air defenses. There is still much more work to be done when it comes to anticipating high-end, high-tech fast-developing future threats, and combat will prove the ability of F-35. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.